This is amplified in my office. This is Crossing Path. It's audible activity creation, and speaker companies is monitoring in concert and engaged in federal stalking together. And LAPD is doing what they were doing via the people who were using the laundry room and slamming machines like demon-possessed psychopaths, monitoring to my every movement and operation of my computer. And as I document them engaging in that demonic activity, they're still monitoring now, while LAPD is now the source of amplified audible activity. Yes, I'm here. I can't hear you. Hello? Okay. Hello? Hello? Oh yeah, the phone's going out. Okay, so I want to make sure that you understand Maria Solis is monitoring me on the phone right now. Okay, will do, Maria, no problem. Okay, bye. Maria's going to federal prison. Juan Carlos, he's going to federal prison. All he did was move his vehicle. He's going to federal prison. The entity is, yeah, here you go. They're all going to federal prison, and they're engaging in the same audible activity creation while they're stalking in the path in the laundry room. And as I document them, these demons resume audible activity creation and amplifying helicopter activity. It's directly convicting them. And this is going to be deportation after federal prison. Okay? This is called impunity. That's called impunity, and that's amplification. This is what they're doing at 12:41 in the morning, flying over my apartment. This is what they're doing at 7:15 in the morning while they're listening to me pray, because they're hostile to the name of the Lord Jesus. They're hostile to me documenting the demon-possessed who live at this venue, who are stalking in a laundry room and engaging in the demonic and terrorizing behavioral pattern of creating noise with simultaneity to my physical movement. That's how demons are monitoring you. Demons are also monitoring in the way that you've seen Tiffany Sherez exhibit, and universal waste that comes to empty the garbage. Again, the entity is amplifying helicopter activity, creating any sort of audible activity while engineer light moves across surfaces. That's never naturally occurring. This is demonic pacing. Walking by in opposite directions. They're doing that on vehicles. They're doing while the entity is amplifying helicopter activity. So again, on a larger scale, it's occurring while I'm inside of the office, and demons are pacing in and out of the laundry room, creating, first of all, they're engaged in pacing just like they are now, walking around on the sidewalk. This is what the entity is doing while they're inside of a T-Mobile store, and engineer lights moving all across the wall as though traffic is ever going to create any ricocheting light in the depths of a T-Mobile store or in the depths of the UPS store, as I documented, while Uber, under the light source that remained over me while I was in that vehicle that drove off of this property that's never going to be present, not the sun, while it's remaining over, by the way, at T-Mobile in Ontario, California. That's evidence that's already existing. So you're understanding what is, again, clear evidence of stalking and psychotic behavioral patterns exhibited by a company, going by speaker companies. You're going to drain the pockets of that company, and then they're calling on the phone because demons are hostile. So they engage in what is that conduct together, and it's not limited to, that's a demon that's monitoring, coming out and saying hi. That's called Crossing Path. This is Juan Carlos that's going to federal prison, and this is Carla Lopez who's going to federal prison. Maria Solis, who is engaged in federal stalking, calling on the phone, not limiting the prosecution. T-Mobile's already prosecuted before I came to LA. These are psychopaths that go literally delirious with their criminal conduct as they listen to how far and wide this prosecution is reaching and what they engaged in unbeknownst to them when they acted in conformity to a well-documented P.O.C. And it starts in a T-Mobile store, by the way, in Ontario, California, where the entity had a light source over me at any point in the day while I'm showing the ongoing criminal system underway by the Ontario Police Department, whose chief of police is also fired and who's also going to be disbanded. They're violent sex offenders engaged in group stalking, just like LAPD is, flying over my office as they react to Kum Lee, Beatrice Toledo, June Kim, who you see stalking in a laundry room, and then using the operation of those machines for audible activity creation, which is what LAPD is monitoring to that, group stalking with them. And then as you document the minions that are the people of the state, then the entity steps in and takes over with regard to audible activity creation. And what you saw walking into building 1804, walking on the sidewalk in opposite directions, that's 1808 number 2, Yu Kim. He's going to federal prison, and then you're deporting these people out of this country. They're not even worthy of being here. They're literally animals. Okay, but they're animals that have been granted the privilege of being in this country. Okay, this is P.O.C. This is also called Crossing Path. And this is a demon. Understand, it's the vehicle and the person on foot that are means of crossing path. That's also light activity. And those are the demon possessed, the mentally ill that are targeting somebody else and wanted to outwardly appear as though they're doing anything else. The light source is captured over that property. The engineer light covers that property all day long. And it's still the maintenance of that specific environment while the entity is stalking via third parties inside of the laundry room and using the opening and closure of such machines, which are what demons are doing, while LAPD remains in the distance, flying in circles, and then comes and engages in an act of hostility because I'm exposing what the demon-possessed that live at Alvarado Gardens are doing on a 24-hour basis, which is documentation of what is terrorism, harassment, and sexual violence as an entity that is engaged in group stalking together. This is called pacing. This is a demon that's pacing back and forth by flying in a circle in a helicopter, which is what you saw Kim and the Asian female doing while they're walking in opposite directions. That's called pacing amongst two demon-possessed people walking in the opposite direction. This is what Precious Bastillos is doing as she's walking by. This is what the entity is doing by walking on into building 1804 as you see crossing a path. This is what the entity is doing at Silverview Townhomes while you're looking at a person get out of a vehicle and that vehicle. But that's both movement in the engineer light. These are demons that are pacing all around, and they're pacing up and down Alvarado Street. You're looking at demonic activity, and they maintain real-time knowledge. And I want to be clear, Maria Solis Alvarez is engaging in an act of aggression while she's calling, and then that ongoing ambush conduct. The LAPD is intending to engage in a show of hostility. This is the symbolism behind this, the demon-possessed show of aggression while they engage in the pattern of conduct. You.
Drop up this?
No, you're not dropping it off to me. Keep it for Maria.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This is P.O.C. and it is currently, by the way, 10:54 a.m. The entity is acting by engaging in what is crossing a path conduct, coming in, opening my door, asking me a question that they know the answer to. That's the same minion that had the puppy that was group stalking yesterday, and he's group stalking right now while LAPD is flying in a circle. Okay? So I want to be clear. Maria Solis Alvarez, that's federal stalking on the video of the internet, calling my phone, and Operation sending me an email. This is all criminal conduct on the video of the internet. This is with real-time knowledge with regard to what I just captured, which was Kum Lee's social security number, and writing down the pattern of conduct as I'm reciting it, the narrative behind what the entity is doing. Stalking in a laundry room. Engaged in surveillance in a laundry room. You're stalking in the path. And then a demon on the opposite side of the wall as I make any movement. Boom! The sound of laundry machines closing. This is what Speaker Companies is also doing while they're sending text messages, which is operation of a communication device. This is federal stalking conduct by demons who are in relevant position knowing what I'm doing while I'm in an office by myself, and they're stalking in the path in the laundry room, creating audible activity, relevant positioning, and the demons on the communication device are also engaged in monitoring conduct while they are acting in concert as one. This is a demon-possessed entity that's acting in concert. Okay, so as I documented that in screen images on my phone. That's a prosecution of Speaker Companies. While I'm documenting this in relevant position, while third parties like Kum Lee are crossing paths, I take a picture of her walking out as the entity uses the door as a means of audible activity. This demon is inside of the laundry room slamming machines with simultaneity to what I'm physically doing. That's a demon. And as I'm capturing her social security number, images of her crossing path conduct, and the ongoing pattern, all they're doing is, as they live here, they're just going in and out of the laundry room. It's a means of ongoing noise, including Kim, who you see walking on the sidewalk. That's a demon. Okay, and he's still monitoring. And I've also documented him group stalking in the laundry room, beating on the wall, and then outwardly conducting. This is a demon, and demons are not limited by language or culture. This is a demon that's monitoring, operating over a person, and he knows exactly what he's doing. And he's beating on the wall, as you can recall my video as I captured the light source on this day that I'm referencing already captured documentation, and he's beating on the wall. He denies it, and actually he say, "Oh, I don't understand," and I'm saying it that way because you're dealing with the demon, and they know exactly what you're saying. Okay, you're not dealing with natural kind of. So I just want to pierce beyond all of the veil of illusions. Okay, beating on the wall is audible activity. There's nothing on this wall that would cause somebody that's going in the laundry room to beat on this wall, which is exactly the audible activity that's created while it's filled with engineered light, and the light source is over on this side of the laundry room. And I approach that demon, Kim, who you see group stalking in plain view while LAPD are being demons flying in circles today, and the entity is engaged in the same P.O.C. That third party you see walking outside is still monitoring. Okay, and that's exactly what they're doing while they're pacing in and out of a laundry room, which is nothing other than a means of criminal conduct, demonic behavior, which is serving a criminal system in concert with that corrupt law enforcement agency occurring under the leadership, okay, the corrupt leadership, the demonic leadership of Dominic Choi, who is engaged in what is state surveillance. Dominic Choi and the Los Angeles Police Department are the domestic enemy, engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring, exhibiting the threat that they are to the public. While they engage in more aggression, they engage in more criminal activity. They show in every regard no effort or desire whatsoever to cease engaging in or even holding the appearance of that which is unlawful, that which is terrorizing and harassing. They are in every regard engaging in more of it, increasing more of it, which, by the way, is the demonic personality defect, that which is exhibited of a psychopath. And this is covering a whole police department. This is also why that prosecution is going to permeate, okay, the state. and permeate these police departments, who are going to be removed. Yes, but you're also going to permeate the personal lives, because they pose a threat to everyone that they are within the circle of influence, okay, including minor children. This level of malicious conduct, this level of psychotic criminal activity, the ability to show the malice whereby you are targeting someone else and causing that person to, by virtue of your behavior, this is the psychological torment that the demon-possessed seek to inflict upon the ordinary target individual. You seek to torment that person while you're targeting them, and this is how you're going to recognize demons targeting you, through the environment that they're maintaining and that is maintained around you, and they are looking to the opposite. They're looking, not addressing you, or they're even ones that you know them by name and they express love for you or friendship with you, and they're monitoring you, okay? Targeting you, harming you, causing you to question. That's psychological torment, and that's very disturbing behavior. That's cruelty to mankind, okay? And so the entity is engaging in this as a system, and increasing so as I speak to the truth of what they're doing, as I document their criminal co-parts. They engage in more of that criminal activity. This is criminal conduct. This is the personality defect. This is the threat, the public safety concern posed by corrupt law enforcement agencies such as DOMINIC, CHOI, and the Los Angeles Police Department. Okay, so I want to make sure that you understand that this is exactly what Kum Lee represents. This is that threat that is posed by Kum Lee and Beatrice Toledo and Joan Kim, who you see using a laundry room as a means of surveillance and activity creation, maintaining that specific environment. As you see Nova Contractors in doing, maintaining presence in the path. Anywhere that I walk, you've got a demon there to maintain presence in the path. They're doing that, as you see on Silverview Townhomes. You're looking at what is systematic means of crossing path on Alvarado Street. You're aware of the context of act and the significance of what's actually occurring, because you've seen the specific environment, and literally while you're looking at it, they are engaging in maintaining that specific environment through the noise, through the light activity, and through the presence, which is centered around what I do as I do it and where I go as I do it. Those are demons that are surrounding, okay? And that is speaking to what is the psychotic behavior, the threat, the mind state of that person, which represents a whole entity, okay, that's engaging in that against one person, the American citizen that has a constitutional right and human right to not be subject to it, and then also enforce your rights. And you see the entity as the LAPD and the people of the state. I want to be clear, Kum Lee, you can substitute the LAPD with Kum Lee. Kum Lee is exhibiting a threat, threatening my life, while the LAPD then comes and supplements for the noise that she was creating in the laundry room. Understand, Kum Lee and the LAPD are one. They're one entity, the same demonic spirit operating over them. Okay, threatening your life, seeking to psychologically torment, seeking to further intimidate for a criminal purpose to obstruct justice, while they are federally stalking, knowing that you're documenting them. Okay, this is the grounds of removal for any and every chief of police that's a documented terrorist engaging in what is criminal surveillance, for the disbanding of such entities that are acting through corrupt law enforcement agencies, the federal imprisonment of the people of the state that are facilitating that. This is the same entity that engages in what is murdering targeted individuals and creating a narrative after their life is taken, engaging in what is reasonably causing the blood is on their hands when a targeted individual takes their own life, creating a narrative regarding the mental illness of that targeted individual. No, they're not mentally ill. They're being targeted. They're being treated inhumanely by a whole entity, which includes corrupt law enforcement agencies, and they call themselves protecting and serving. That's what's written on the side of their helicopters and their buildings and their vehicles. And you're giving them tanks, you're giving them helicopters, you're giving them weapons. This is speaking to and advocating for the demilitarization of these demon-possessed agencies who are serving to threaten your freedom. They're serving to threaten your safety and your future. While you're looking at scenes such as at U.C. Irvine, let me let you know what's actually going on there. You are looking at the P.O.C. Okay, not only that, I've been to Orange County. The entity is monitoring in Orange County, Costa Mesa, Newport Beach, group stalking, demon-possessed group stalking. And so what are you looking at? You're not focusing on the outward, creating what is a narrative substantiating the militarization of these corrupt law enforcement agencies. I want you to pierce beyond the veil. Who is it that they are requiring to provide this support for the militarization of law enforcement, for the lawlessness that's exhibited through? Who? The people of the state, such as Carlo Lopez, Juan Carlos, Maria Solis Alvarez, Kum Lee, who you see rioting, engaging in this so-called lawlessness. It's the people of the state. And let me be clear, they're also on the same team. They're the demon-possessed. And so there's a whole spiritual context behind what you're actually looking at, and it is designed to deceive you. I want to make sure that you understand what you're looking at in the natural is not necessarily what's actually happening. Okay, and it's not serving your interest that these corrupt law enforcement agencies in the state of California have the resources that are at their disposal. And I'm showing you while they're targeting me, while they're seeking to threaten me, and I'm literally capturing video, I'm literally going to prosecute, I'm literally going to run these tapes in court. And the world is going to witness it, and they're still doing it in plain sight. There's no question about what they're doing. You're stalking. This is a surefire prosecution. Dominic Choi is fired. He's done. Okay. So you're understanding what is the mindset behind a very sick entity. This is demonic. And this same demonic spirit is over the police that you see while they are organizing and rioting, showing what is on the surface lawlessness that would substantiate and support what government officials, what politicians are going to ask for, the militarization. Oh, they need more weapons. They need more resources to protect law enforcement who are, serving to protect. No. Let me be clear. In California, they're monitoring. These are corrupt law enforcement agencies. And what you're looking at on the news is serving a demonic agenda. Okay, to strengthen through the use of weapons that are threatening the public because they have these at their disposal. They're stalking in helicopters. They're bearing weapons while they're stalking in plain sight. You're looking at the light source. You're looking at them bearing weapons. You're looking at them talking to other people while they're group stalking the target individual. And they do so outwardly because they thought at that point that it would never be known what they're actually doing. That's a psychopath. That's a mind state. That's a threat to the public. That malicious mind state is a threat. And it's also a threat to minor children, because you're talking about somebody that's capable of sexually violating someone and then outwardly threatening them through their passive aggressive behavior, which directly threatening to a specific person. That sort of mind state, that's revealing a threat to more than just the target individual. It's a threat to the public. It's a threat to including the criminal the criminal partner that they're acting with, the people of the state. It's a threat to the public. All of this is analysis that flows from the criminal act that the entity is engaging in. Okay, so that was ambush. I want to be clear. That was an ambush. Maria Solis, she's going to federal prison. And she's going back. I believe she came from Mexico. She's going right back there. She can monitor there. She's not welcome in this country, period. Okay, the entity is engaging in what is an ongoing ambush attack because I'm documenting and exposing what the people of the state are. But it's already a foregone conclusion. All I'm doing is narrating what you already know that they're doing. You will never have on any occasion sunlight streaming off of hundreds of vehicles at a time that are crossing paths with me on the roads and the highways, on freeways, where I'm being molested and accosted with what is not even sunlight. And I'm also showing what's a light source that's over my head. This is light activity, speaking to the criminal system that's underway via corrupt law enforcement agencies who are equally under that same demonic possession. And this proceeded before I came even and honed in on Dominic Choi's disqualification in law enforcement and as the leader, chief of police. They are sex offenders. He is, by virtue of his law enforcement agency, he's a sex offender, keeping me under surveillance while my panties are down, okay, while I'm in my bed at night, while they're hostile to me, calling out the name of Jesus, while I'm praying in private, all right, and they're engaging in the same demonic conduct. That hostility is exactly what was exhibited because I'm documenting all of these who are going to federal prison. They use the laundry room as a means of engaging in surveillance. That's entirely psychotic. They're in custody of minor children while they're engaging in what are the criminal elements of monitoring, which is practicing demonic activity. These are the same entity that are outside organizing in front of, appearing as though they are on opposite sides of the team while they are facing Irvine police, by the way. Irvine police are engaged in group stalking and monitoring. They're in Orange County, and I've already been in Orange County. They are engaged in the system of federal group stalking and monitoring in Orange County. Okay, so you are being given a narrative because you're only focusing on the natural when you're giving a particular storyline on the news. Okay, so like I said, there is a demonic agenda in this country, and it does start with these corrupt law enforcement agencies, and it's not just corruption on its face. They're not just smuggling drugs in, which is bad enough. This corruption is born of demon possession. That's a direct threat to humankind. Okay. And so I just want to make sure it's not only is their criminal conduct the grounds for the demilitarization, their condition, which their condition is made manifest. It is proven through the environment that they're in. Demons are in that environment. Demons are acting pursuant to the demonic behavior pattern. Demons show that delusional mind state where you would continue engaging in that which is to your own demise and to the demise of all of your criminal co-conspirators while you are fully exposed and documented. Those are demons that do that. Demons do not reason. Demons do not slow down. Demons do not know when to stop. Okay? That's why they're going to mental facilities. And I'm referencing people when I'm saying the word demons, because these are spirits that are operating over people, but I'm not going to mince words. I'm going to say what it is. That's a demon acting over Kun Lee. That's a demon acting over you, Kim, while you're looking at them stalking and monitoring in plain sight. And the demons acting over the men and women of Los Angeles Police Department. Okay? And they are exceedingly hostile to your constitutional rights. And it is legally relevant that they are demon possessed. It is legally relevant. At this point, the body of evidence and the significance of that and what it is that you're looking at, it is legally relevant. And it also has great implications for the future of this country and your civil rights. Okay. And also with what the narrative that you're being given on the news. Okay. So there's just greater context than what you're looking at on the surface, which are appearing to be those that are on opposing sides. Oh, they're trying to protect and serve and maintain the peace. Actually, they're creating a narrative that's serving to your demise as American citizens that do not bow down to Satan, that are not of this condition, that are not group stalkers, okay, that are not engaged in what is public corruption. Okay, it is currently 11:10 a.m. This is P.O.C.